I went to watch Sinners for Michael B. Jordan, and I came out actually incredibly happy that I went to go see this film. Hello there, namaste. So I reacted to the trailer of Sinners, and it was a film that seemed to have so much in it that I wasn't sure it was going to be good, but I wanted to see Michael B. Jordan because I've always enjoyed his work. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their Mississippi hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. I was actually curious what the overview would be because there's so much in this film that that doesn't even sound accurate, not even close. So when this film starts off, it starts off with like jump scares and things like that. In the very beginning, there's quick editing and loud sounds. This son returns to his father, who's a pastor in the church. You hear singing and everything, and then his father's talking to him, reaching his arms out, and then we get like snippets, like a demon-like character. A few minutes later, we get a jump scare of a snake. Then after that, the film really turns into a comedy. You have Michael B. Jordan, and Michael B. Jordan, he's playing twin brothers, so he splits off and is doing two separate things, and Michael B. Jordan shoots a guy in public, and they had these interesting shots where you have one lady who's going, she's an Asian lady, and she's running like a shop in the black half of the town, and she needs to go get someone. So she walks across the street, and literally it's like night and day. Everyone's skin color changes, the setting changes, everything. She walks across the street and it's the white part of town. Honestly, it gave me a flashback to like San Francisco, where you walk down one side of the street and it's the proper side of the street. And then you look across the street and you have like the bums, the hobos, the tents, the drug users, all on the opposite side. But this film had many jokes. I had myself laughing a lot, which I found surprising. I don't like raunchy humor. I don't like adult humor. There were a few scenes I thought they could have done without because they had they referenced sexual scenes, they had things like that, and I'm like, you could have just hinted at it. We didn't need to see it. But one of them I found funny was the little cousin is gonna get his first time, and Michael B. Jordan goes to the door, he's about to open, it's like, why is this door locked? He leans up into it and it's like, that's my little cousin. Hey, come here, listen to my little cousin. I thought that was funny. It's very intrusive, very uncomfortable, but at the same time, it was funny because it was just like, that's that character. But Michael B. Jordan plays Smokes and Stacks. They're each their own individual being, which is honestly something I really like. They're each unique, and I found that absolutely phenomenal because most times when people play twins, well, you have the nerdy twin, then you have the jock twin, and that's how it's defined. That's how they play it. Stereotypes of those characters. But no, Stacks and Smokes are each completely unique. They each have their own wants and needs. And then of course, after that party scene, after the jokes and everything, it turns into like your typical kind of Monster House experience where the people are in the house trying to fend off monsters, and I enjoyed it. I had no clue. Again, when I was watching the trailer, it was just like, they have this in here? They have this in here? They have this in here? Why? It just, this is not gonna work. I was thinking it was not gonna work. It's like, this seems like too much. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It all seamlessly goes together. So there's like this beast who's being hunted by Native Americans, and that's only done at one point in time. The Native Americans never come back into play at any point. It shows us that he's running, he's dangerous. He's like burning as he runs into the shade of a house. And one thing that I was wondering is like, okay, in the trailer, it didn't let me know. It was the demon summoned to Earth? How did he get there? Are we gonna get a backstory for him? And we kind of do. And I kind of feel like I like it because I got the feeling that this monster had been alone for centuries and was looking for someone who could break the veil. Because remember, that's what this is about. Those musicians around the world who are always able to conjure spirits to make people feel at ease. But if you did too much, you could bring the dead back. And I have the feeling that that creature was just wanting to see his long lost loved ones. That's why he was hunting down the preacher boy, because the preacher boy had the power to allow him to see the loved ones that he had lost long ago. Which explains why the mid-credit scene is the way it is, because, well, they had each other. that they're happy with each other. But of course, after the monster house situation where you're trying to fend off the creatures who are coming in, and I gotta say, there's that one Asian lady who basically snaps and causes so many people to die. It was all her fault. It was all her fault. I knew she was gonna cause a problem when she snapped back at Michael B. Jordan. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan finds out that the whole thing, Sawmill and everything, was sold to them by the Klan, so the Klan could basically hunt them all down in one spot because the Beast lets them know that. And it turns into an action scene at the end where Michael B. Jordan is shooting everyone down, which you see in the trailer, and it works. I freaking liked it. Even the part where he's taking the smoke and smoking it, and basically his happiness is right there. I freaking loved every bit of it. I loved the racial tension. I loved the dialogue. I loved the comedy. I loved the jump scares, and I normally don't care for jump scares. I feel like those serve no place. The one with the snake actually was perfectly placed. The one in the beginning was like, oh, we're just letting you know that this whole thing happens in one day. Because the preacher boy shows up scared, holding a broken guitar, panicking, scar on his face, and then we get a 1 day earlier title sequence. I absolutely love this film. There are even dance sequences in there. Like there's one where he's breaking the veil, seeing past, present, future. I was curious when they said that how it was gonna work, but in the film, it is phenomenal. That one really was like, wow, I love this. You see people dancing from various places in the globe, referencing the people there. There's like the Asian woman, and as she's basically grabbing her husband to dance with her, you see like a geisha girl or something dancing around. I really liked that. And it's funny because it was like, I see this all the time in Indian cinema, but not so much recently because I think they're getting more away from that, but I see it all the time, but it was so well done. Even the song where the Beast is singing and dancing and everyone's dancing with him, I freaking love that. The Irish tone to it, I freaking loved it. Yeah, this film I'm definitely recommending. I am absolutely recommending this film to everyone. Let's be honest, to adults. I'm recommending it to adults. Again, I don't believe all the sex scenes needed to be there, but a few of them played onto jokes, so it's like, okay, you showed us one before, so you could make a joke later. I'm hoping that's what it is. But so far, this is one of the best films I've seen all of 25. 2025 was a weird year so far, but this film is honestly, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's gonna be one of the best films to come out 2025, especially out of Hollywood. Let's be honest, especially out of Hollywood, because I'm looking down the pipeline. There's The Accountant, which is basically going to be a remake of the first one. There's going to be Thunderbolts, which is basically the Dark Avengers. You have Fantastic Four. You have a crap ton of cheesy horror films, of course. And I can't see everything, which sucks. I can only see one a week, but maybe eventually we can get to that point. But yeah, Sinners, I absolutely love this film. I need to see it again. I need to see it again. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.
You guys got a video? What's so bad?
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait on that.